Welcome, everybody. It's opening day at Oaklawn. I got the Wolf with me, also known Chase. How you doing today, Chase?
Man, it's I'm always so excited for the first day of the Oaklawn meet, and I get two this year, so I'm pumped.
You get two? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, two opening in 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No, it's great, and I'm glad they're starting early. There's not a ton of competition for them, so they might as well.
Right.
Really, I guess Fairgrounds, is their competition, but
Yeah.
so yeah, it's exciting. And sorry for the delay getting started. I forgot to invite Chase to the StreamYard, so we're all set now.
Just
And
the fact that I'm invited back, I never figured that was even going to happen. So we're already ahead of the curve.
Have Wolf of Oaklawn on opening day. I got to do it. So anyway, no, I'm going to keep inviting you back. You're great handicapper, and I put some work in here. I got to hang with you, so I put a lot of work in. I hope to hit some winners. It's a tough track. I mean, Oaklawn, and as we look at the card today, you see people coming in from Thistledowns, Indiana, Delta, Delaware, Saratoga, Keeneland. They're coming from everywhere.
Yeah, it's always funny to me how many people profess their love for Oaklawn before it starts, and then quit halfway through the first card because they just can't figure it out. It is a very tough track. It is a tough track, but it's got its own little idiosyncrasies, just like any other track.
They don't run a lot of different distances. I mean, they run only 6 furlong sprints. They run the mile 16th, occasionally a mile and 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all dirt. So you can eventually get, a handle on it.
Right.
The hard part is full fields, big field sizes, big purses.
Yep.
I mean, there's $100,000 non-winners of one other than today.
Yeah.
And then there's an $84,000 Indiana bred.
Right. What's crazy is we'll even probably see purse increases 2 or 3 times throughout the course of the meet. It's just they've done a really good job of just making this a marquee meet and bringing in just talent from absolutely everywhere.
No, they've done a good job renovating the track with that new casino. I'm sorry, new hotel, some nice restaurants. It's actually, I was looking, even on prime weekends in March and April, you can get a room for $300 in there.
Right.
I was surprised.
I headed down to the sports book a couple months ago, and it had been my first time being in there since they had finished the hotel. And man, it is not the same like dingy, track that was built in 1940. Like it's really stepped up. The sports book is really nice, and just really, really cool little bars with overlooks. They dug a pond this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a pond in the infield.
Nice.
It's but they still got the same old like concrete garage floor paddock. I love it.
The paddock is funny, but you can get close to the horses. I mean, that's a big advantage. I mean, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into the card here. It's going to be a fun one, and we're going to kind of go through the whole day. We'll start off with race 1. I thought one of the harder races, actually. What did you think of it?
It's a tough one because they got it at the 5.5 furlong distance. It's the question of there's always a lot of speed in these sort of races. This short of distance, is there enough speed for it to melt down? And I decided to say yes. And I really keyed in on the 6 Diva de Kayla for Jinx Fires and John Court, because all John Court does is make good decisions, and I'm hoping that he keeps this one close enough to the pace to be able to run into it late.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit. I had 4 horses I was looking at, and that's why I considered the race hard. But I went with Honey Parade, the favorite. I just think that he's the fastest horse. And actually doesn't need the lead, should sit a very tactical trip. And I guess I got to show my screen here. I forgot to get this set up already. anyway, while I'm talking, I'll keep talking about it. But the horse ranks first on PFDS odds. So let me show that. I
It's
did not have the morning together today.
It's all right, man. It's a John Ortiz horse who always seems to perform at this meet. One of the things that he's done that I really like is he's kind of taken over for William Van Meter with the with Shortleaf Stables horses, which I'm an absolute sucker for. I mean, I can definitely understand the allure. You've got a horse that's dropping out of a $25,000 claimer at Churchill Downs. It's been working very well. Personally, I'd like to see it work over the local track, but doesn't mean that it can't run on the local track. So I can't hate you for the pick.
Yeah, it's a boring pick, unfortunately. I got a lot better ones coming up later, but gets the A+ grade. I always zero in on the plus horse first. By the way, my sheets for Oaklawn today are on the website for free, so take a look. And then gets this rank in the fourth column here, 1, 2, 3, 4, rank of 1. That corresponds to this PFDS odds. That's the original system I've been using since the 90s. That's a very strong factor. 10 trainer is a very good trainer. 9 jockey. This is, and I think the pace sets up. Gonna sit and stalking trip. But your horse, I think if there's a complete pace meltdown, then I think your horse makes complete sense. S1, best lead speed.
I was a real toss up between the 4 and the 6, and because I really like Francisco Arrieta, and 2, I think they're both those horses that could pick up the pieces if they needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, race 1, I think a tricky race, and we'll keep going now. We'll go ahead and start with race 2. Let me just scroll down here. I guess I'll start off race 2. I like this horse, Big Pete. So first of all, Beach Holiday, the 5 is gelded off the 2-month layoff. I think that's Brad Cox's horse. I'm not looking at the PPs, but I don't know. To me, that horse is vulnerable. And Big Pete, the 11, tough draw, but I think this is a short stretch, right?
Yeah, it is the short stretch mile. Yeah. It ends at the
right.
At the
so actually, it's not that short a run. They got a good run into the first turn, and then it's a short stretch where I think speed is gold. Horse gets Lasix on late in his 2-year-old career. And if you look at my pace figures, the 68 and the 77, that's unusual for an E8 horse. So I think this horse, if it gets the lead, can run a relaxed pace, finish strong. I'm not concerned about the 8 furlongs at all. Moves up from 7-1 to 2.7-1 on best odds. Again, this horse is capable of winning 8-1. I don't know if I'll get that, but that's my pick.
I'm definitely using that horse in the horizontals. I landed on the 1 Spend Again as my top pick. Adding Lasix for the first time, ran a pretty strong race going 2 turns at Churchill Downs. Then they moved it into an actual maiden special weight, into like a protected race at Keeneland. The horse had a bobbled start. It was eased. One of my favorite angles is eased or Vandolph horse last time. And also, I really like seeing these horses that ran at bigger meets like Keeneland. And so I kind of had the same idea with you on the speed and the short stretch. And I was hoping that this one could hit the rail and just go. But yeah, like I said, the 11 I'm absolutely using in any horizontals.
Yeah. So at Churchill, 47-3 and 113. I'm looking at this 11 now, 46-4, 113. They're pretty comparable. 48-1, 113. So yeah, you might be right. The 1 might get the lead. Christian Torres, I don't know that jockey that well.
Yeah, that's kind of not a familiar one for me for this meet. So it's taking a little bit of a gamble. I do like what you're doing with you've got probably one of my favorite young trainers with the 11 with Jason Barkley. And like I said, I really like Francisco Arrieta.
Yeah. I've met Barkley. He won't remember me, but I met Barkley at Remington a couple months ago. I was actually in the winner's circle with him. His friend I was at the track with. So, and yeah, he's a good young trainer. I like him a lot. So yeah, I'm going to go with Big Pete and a little bit of a price. I think Beach Holidays play against, and your pick Spend Again. I'm hearing quite a few people like that horse for all the reasons you just stated. So I got no problem with that pick either.
Sweet.
Race 3. Who do you like in race 3?
This is probably one of my higher confidence picks in the early pick 5. The race 3 and race 4, I got 2 that I'm very high on, and I'm going back to the Francisco Arrieta train and Carl Broberg with the 5 Eagle Pass. This is a horse I'm probably going to single and probably try to hit in an ice cold double into the next race. Pick this horse up. Broberg picked this horse up at the Saratoga meet from John Toscano. It was a hot commodity at the claiming box from April all the way into August. It was claimed 3 times in its last 4 races. Broberg has a knack for moving horses forward, and if you look at the workout line, he's got 2 spins over the local track where he's got a really crisp 1 minute and 3 minute flat workouts, which I really like to see. That 12-second per furlong clip. It's a super saver baby. It should hopefully handle this pretty well. Also, I really kind of like to look at the little bit further outside in these 6 furlong sprints. So I like Eagle Pass to kind of get that outside stalking trip and pull off the patented Oaklawn swoop slingshot out of the turn.
Broberg has 2 in here: is Yodel Ihehu and Eagle Pass. It looks like the Yodel Ihehu experiment is over. He's had enough, and I agree with you. Eagle Pass is a strong one. So Eagle Pass is sitting here on top of the sheet, and all the reasons you stated, I agree with completely. It gets the A+, fastest horse in the race, in my opinion. The other horse, now, one of the things I wanted to point out on my sheet here in this race is look at the PFDS odds. They go from 3.4, 3.9, 6, 6.7, 6.1, 8.7. That's one of the indicators you have of a wide open race, is when these odds are just very tightly bunched.
Sure.
You see the ranks are all over the place. The bottom horse in the sheet coming off the 8-month layoff even has a little rank of 1 here, rank of 2 here, gets a C. This is a very wide open race. Last thing I want to do in a wide open race is play chalk. Okay. So I'm liking the 5 a lot. The other horse I like is Pit Boss. Pit Boss is on the rail at a big price and gets the Apprentice on board. And, maybe there'll be a change of tactics and they try to put this horse on the lead and, carrying less weight, carrying 7 pounds less weight could be a factor. And also, I think this is a reclaim. So if you look here at his past performances, Matt Shire claimed that horse back. Okay. Claimed that horse back for 20 grand, then ran for 40. And then lost him for 20. Claimed it back and lost him for 20. So, I think that's a good sign when a horse gets claimed back by his previous trainer.
Sure.
So now Norman Cash is on board, training the horse. You get the apprentice. So that's my kind of long shot play. I would, in my horizontals, I'll probably go 2 deep and use the 1 and 5 and try to catch a price.
Sure.
In this race.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just go all in on Eagle Pass, and okay. I'll be singling in the horizontals, and I'll actually be keying on top in a exacta and trifecta with the other Broberg, Yodel Ihehu, the 3 Awesome Saturday, because you can't count out the M&M boys at Oaklawn, and the 4 Wild Behavior as a horse that I could see on the lead that could just hang for a piece.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wild Behavior had me looking hard at it with his early speed. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Eagle Pass gets it done. I'm in agreement with you. Race 4, I'll take the lead on this one. I told you I'd have some prices. So Chicken Hawk, 5-month layoff for Guru and Asmussen is okay. I'm pretty sure Chicken Hawk is owned by Asmussen.
That is correct.
So, I mean, I think this whole Santana Asmussen story is getting pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't put Santana on his own horse, so it's completely his decision.
Yep.
And you see Broberg picking up Santana in the previous race. I wonder if Broberg is trying to buddy up to Santana right now. And
you could do worse at Oaklawn Park, right?
Exactly. So maybe taking a little advantage of the rift that might be going on between Asmussen and Santana. There's definitely some sort of rift. I mean, Santana's riding a few horses for Asmussen today, but he's not riding this one. And I thought that was really interesting. So I got no problems with anyone who wants to take this horse. I figured this horse is extremely live with Giroux jumping on board. The horse that I am leaning towards, though, is Papa Starr. Papa Starr is an Arkansas bred. Okay, this is not an Arkansas bred race. And as I look at, it looks like this horse loves our Oaklawn, by the way. He's got 1 win, 4 seconds. And they ran him once at Lone Star and he didn't run well. Now they've rested him and they're bringing him back for Oaklawn. I just have a feeling this horse is better than 10-1. Gets a B. The Violent Pass is scratched.
So, oh no, oh man.
Yeah, Violent Pass is out. So that and that's one of the reasons why I like that 5 a little bit more. I mean, I'm probably going to go 2-5. I think the 4 is also interesting. Who do you like? I know. So it sounds like the horse you like is scratched.
Yeah, the Violet Pass was actually going to be the second half of my ice cold double. Ooh, let me reevaluate here. I had the 3, 2, and 4 underneath. Man, I really like the move that Eminem had with Violent Pass too. So that's a bummer right there. I can't pick Francisco Arrieta again because there's absolutely no way that he wins like the first 4 in a row, right?
Right.
I might take a chance with Randy Morse's horse that he is shipping in out of Churchill Downs. He's dropping out of a $30,000 non-winners at 2. It's a horse that's got some pretty quick sprint speed. I'm seeing 2 straight races, one at Pimlico, one at Churchill Downs, where this horse went sub 22 seconds in the opening quarter. One of the reasons I really liked Violent Pass was I thought Violent Pass could maybe run this field off of its feet, get to the lead, and not look back. Without Violent Pass, I think maybe let's call it. Was it Rubigenus?
Yeah, Rubigenus. Yeah,
Rubigenus, maybe. I don't know. It's funny enough. It looks like it's actually another Archie bred. This is an open race with a open competition race with all sorts of Archie breds in it. But I like that this one has been racing against open competition. It hasn't run worth a lick at Oaklawn previously, but those were also its first 2 career starts. You can definitely see a pattern of maturation with this one. I'm hoping that this one is full send with toe hill up.
Makes complete sense to me. I took note of that horse because the same reasons you did. He gets his 2 over here. Now that becomes a 1 because Violent Pass got scratched. So he picks up a 1 here. The E8 makes complete sense. I'm looking hard at that horse. But I'm going to lean on that Papa Starr, but I don't got any problem with your horse either. And Chicken Hawk, to me, Chicken Hawk is legit. I think that horse is very live for Asmussen, but all right, we'll go back to you for race 5.
All right, so it's a maiden special weight for Archie breds for I believe for 3-year-olds. I was excited because I thought it was finally a 2-year-old race at Oaklawn. But I ended up landing on Unbridled Twister
Okay.
in this one. If you look at Unbridled Twister, is coming out of open competition once again at Keeneland. Once John Court up, it's a horse that's shown that it has a little bit of an ability to pass other horses. It's chased some really hot paces, so I'm hoping that maybe sets up here. I always kind of figure that the opening pace and a maiden special weight is going to get hot because first timers they just kind of go fast. I also like the bottom line in the pedigree. We've got this horse is out of an Unbridled Song mare. It's got one winner out of the 4 that it's dropped, and also another little angle that I like is it's second race off of a bullet work. So we had a bullet work back on October 13th. Then we had a leg stretcher this month and a race in between. Really, usually I feel like those horses are primed to fire. Also, when the field sizes get out plus double digits, you really need to pay attention at the furthest outside post. Like the 9 through 12 gets really dangerous at about this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on that horse. I looked hard at that horse. Horse did get beaten by Choctaw Charlie at Oaklawn. Now Choctaw Charlie hasn't raced since, and I really like this horse, Choctaw Charlie. The only thing I have a problem with it is Lynn Schlerberod. Anyway, is a 20% trainer, and it's 25% with Elvin Gonzalez. That's solid, but is only 9% on horses coming off a layoff. So that's why you see. Let me poke this up. That's why you see the 6 on the trainer. Okay. That's a pretty low grade for that trainer. That trainer is a good trainer. Okay. But it's being hurt by that layoff angle. And might be a reason to play against that horse. And then, so I ended up on Little Burrito, okay, who gets the A+, is the morning line favorite. This 2-3 form cycle make it second or third start off a layoff. If you look at the PPs, I think it's third start actually. So this horse was running on Oaklawn. They like this horse a lot. Okay. Yep. In fact, this is one of my better angles on the day. I really like this horse. They've been running this horse in state bred maiden special weight. And then they give him then they run him in Delaware. And look at that last race. Optional claiming 40. Probably was not running under a tag, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. But I think I don't think they wanted to win that race. So the horse was 10 lengths clear of the third horse and was running extremely well, decides a bad start, and probably could have won that race. And they got this $84,000 allowance race up here for Arkansas breds. I don't think they wanted to win it. I think they laid off on that horse. I think that horse is primed for a really big race. So
when it comes to Arkansas breds, I mean, seeing Tisway on the top line, seeing it being out of a flatter mare. Also, how do you cheer against a horse named Little Burrito?
Exactly.
I've loved this horse just because of the name for a while, and this was one that I've spread about 4 deep in this one, and that was a Little Burrito was an include for me as well.
Yeah, I have nothing. So I mean, 4 I'm a little worried about, but the layoff is a concern, and then your 10, I think makes a lot of sense. And if you like speed horse, that 9 horse, it's got a ton of speed. And they're going to have to run that 9 horse down. So definitely a race you could, I think, spread a little bit.
I'll tell you the one just bomb that I'm going to include in my my horizontals. I'm going to throw in the 11 Sweetness 2.
Okay.
It's a first time starter. The only other horse foal to make the gate that was it Sure Sweet has dropped, which is a Candy Ride baby, also sucker for Candy Rides, was a winner. Won 100, won as a 2-year-old. Also, really love the gait workouts in the workout tab. Something I always look for in first time starters is I want to see preferably 3, but I'll even settle for 2 sometimes gait workouts. Because the only way, it's like anything else. The only way you're going to get better at it is practice. And I like to see horses that I feel like aren't going to be nervous. And we got a huge field. Maybe the horse sneaks up on everybody from the far outside.
Horse is definitely an overlay at 30-1. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And even on my program, look how high up he is. Let me scroll down. Horse is right in the middle of the pack at 30-1.
Right.
Gets a little $3 of value. I have him at 15-1 on PFDS odds and 28 on best odds. Obviously, I have no data on the horse, but the horse and that jockey is good. That is a good jockey.
Yep.
So yeah, there's some things to like. I do have a feeling that this trainer is not great with first time starters. But 30-1, he's 30-1 good. That's for sure. Right. I don't know if he's probably not 3-1 good as a trainer, but he's a good enough trainer at 30-1. That's for sure.
I feel a big show bet incoming.
All right. Race 6. So this is one of my best bets of the day. When you look at the chart, gets on top of the sheet with an A+ grade at 5-1. The 3 chalk horses come right underneath it. So I'm not, I'm not discounting the chalk. I like the chalk, but I just think this horse is better. Botswana. I don't know if I'm going to get 7-1, but just fits perfect. Now this is another race. It's pretty wide open. You see the second to last horse in the sheet, Altito, is 11-1, 9.9-1. So I mean, everybody's getting some love, but Botswana, at 5-1, I think represents an overlay and has got a legitimate shot. Who do you like?
This is my biggest long shot play of the day. I'm hoping that the 6-year-old gelding, I Still Got It, does still indeed still got it. Because I thought that this horse definitely had a pace mismatch here going 2 turns. It's got the rail draw. All it's got to do is fire straight. I don't think that there's any other horse out here that's really going to want to go with it. And I really think that I Still Got It can steal it on the front. It's a horse that's coming out of Mahoning Valley. It's been racing Thistle down the Ohio circuit, and it's going to get disrespected. That 10-1 is going to turn into 25-1. Possibly. I would say the odds probably double on that. I think I could possibly get boxcar odds on it. If you look at Kim Pohl is not a bad trainer. 17% with shippers, 17% with the horses with winner's last race, 16% in routes. Once again, you get Ken Tohill, a little bit older jock who's got some experience, and another horse that's second off the bullet. But let's go ahead and, well, maybe not second off. It's second workout back was a bullet, but then again, that was May 17th. But the horse has obviously been raced into shape, ran a good race in the mud last time. If it takes a step forward, it's really dangerous.
I love that pick. It's a great pick. You notice that horse gets the E8, 92 early speed, by far the best, and gets this 1 over here, and then gets a B grade, even though he's ranked kind of low. But like I said, the sorting factor in this race is, it's kind of a jump ball. Okay. I mean, these horses are all close in ability. This horse is getting disrespected because he's been, running for 5K often. And now he's moving up into the starter. And that's why he's getting a little disrespected. I agree. 10-1 is a very fair price. Botswana is a horse. They did risk Botswana for 62.50. And then boom, right into 10,000 starter the very next race with Arietta up. Horse also was running mostly on turf, then switched to dirt, caught the mud, then ran good on fast dirt. So they like this horse. In fact, the trainer and owner are the same, Bentley Combs. This horse has raced 29 times, been in the exacta 12 out of 29. They like this horse. This is a horse the owner likes. He wants to race it. He may be a little too protective, maybe not aggressive enough. This is not Broberg. Broberg would have already lost this horse a long time ago.
Right.
Because he would run him down to where he's going to win. This owner and trainer, hey, they like their horse. They like what they got. But I do think that horse is competitive in starter allowance. I could definitely go just too deep and try to I like your one a lot and try to get a price in here.
If I'm going to give you a horse that's going to possibly round out your exactas or trifectas, you have to include the 9 Exemplar. Just look at this horse's performance at Oaklawn. 12 races, has never won, but has been in the exacta twice, in the trifecta 3 times, in the money 5. That's a horse that I'm definitely going to be using underneath. And who knows, maybe if I still got it on top with Exemplar underneath. I have an early celebration, and it's time to hit the shrimp, all you can eat shrimp buffet.
Well, Norman Cash claimed this horse back. This horse has been very active in the claiming box. Norman Cash claimed that horse back and gets Cabrera up, and Cabrera's never ridden for him before. I think Jose Santos Jr. is Cabrera's agent, and I think he's a good agent. He knows how to read PPs pretty well. I think this horse is very live. Probably, could definitely win. But like you said, at Oaklawn, 5 for 12 underneath makes complete sense.
Yep, it's got a hanger written all over it. And how old is Jose Santos? Is he? He looks like he's about I know he's young. I want to say he's he can't be older than 25, right? His the agent for Cabrera.
He's young. I think he's under 30. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not a good judge of age, but he's probably under 30. But he knows horses.
Yeah,
and, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So we got a little comment here from Tom and Tom Racing. Tom and I hooked up in Delaware. He's a great guy. It's nice to see a face for the Wolf.
There you go.
And then C Money popped on here with a comment. Cabrera has been riding out of his guard lately.
Out of his gourd, out of his mind.
Out of his gourd, yeah. Out of his gourd, yeah. Cabrera is riding obviously in this race. So yeah, I think we got the race covered with our 3 pick. We got the early speed, we got the good closer who hangs, and then we got my little wild card Botswana in there, who actually should be pretty tactically placed.
Yeah. And I like to see that it's a turf horse, because I feel like the move that really wins at Oaklawn, that swoop around the turn, is such a turf move that just fits so well for turf horses. Like I can think of horses like Kamari, who you think of as turf monsters, crushing at Oaklawn.
Yeah, it's a good point. He has run once at Oaklawn. It's not in his PPs. So it's a long time ago. He didn't do anything. But the horse is pretty consistent.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go back to you for race 7.
All right. If you're watching, get your little notebook and write this down, because this is my absolute favorite Oaklawn angle.
Okay.
Short leaf.
Let's hear it.
All right. I'm pretty certain they still pay a med-free purse bonus, and the short leaf stable folks know how to take advantage of it. If you see a horse entered in a maiden special weight, that's a short leaf horse that they don't have on the go-go juice, no Lasix, watch out. It's another, John Ortiz trained. You got Ricardo Santana Jr. up. It's a first timer. I love this angle. I see this angle, and I usually honestly sell out immediately to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done it with pretty good success. I mean, there's a horse named Plainsman that's running in the Cigar Mile. That was one of them. I really like Ice Orchid. Love Ice Orchid in the spot for that no Lasix, purse bonus angle. Good.
Well, this is obviously a very difficult race for my program to know anything. Your Ice Orchid, by the way, actually ranks 4th in the sheet for a first-time starter. Ranks ahead of this Red Queen, who's shorter odds. Okay. In fact, all these first-time starters rank ahead of Red Queen. What that tells me is that Red Queen's not very good. Okay. That's what this tells me. So anyway, yeah, your Ice Orchid. I love your angle. I didn't know that angle, and it's a good one. I have very little clue in this race. I do think the 7 is certainly legit, and of course is the favorite. But Ingrid Mason, 9% trainer. I have a lot of respect for her. I was surprised to see her numbers down that low, but gets Arietta up. Aria's going to win 5 races today, it appears. And horse ran lights out. I mean, 31-1, had the lead top of the stretch. Yielded late. I mean, this horse to me is now gets Lasix on, second start of life. Going to be very, very tough horse to beat.
And you look at the comments and it took a bump to start. So it had to have rushed up and just ran out of gas. So I actually now that you point that out, might be working this horse back into my tickets today. That is a really good catch. And also I probably play connections more at Oaklawn than anywhere else.
Okay.
With Ingrid Mason, with Muddy Water Stables. I'm pretty certain that's hers, and she usually does really well with these Muddy Waters horses.
Okay, yeah, good angle. That's a Wolf of Oaklawn angle right there. Yep. You're getting some inside tips at Oaklawn.
That's
sweeping with the turf runners, short leaf stables, Muddy Water Stables. You're not going to get that at any other track. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you, the M&M horse scratching out of the race that I liked, I was going to throw in the M&M Racing stop, drop, and pop. That's another one, but we'll have to save it for another time, I guess.
Stop, drop, and pop. What's that?
Oh, man. Mike Sisk, M&M, they're so adept at playing the claiming game. They'll pick up a horse, they'll make a crazy drop in class, and the horse will just absolutely crush. I think they've just figured out their profit margins to know that they can claim it for more and win the race and still get it claimed and end up profitable.
Well, especially with the purses at Oaklawn.
Right.
I mean, and this is the whole thing. There's been quite a bit of Twitter commentary lately about this, the HISA rule, which they're trying to get more integrity in the sport, but they're thinking that giving too much money to claiming horses in the purses is a problem. That's what they're saying, because you could drop down and grab these purses with horses and lose them and no problem. I say more power to them.
Right.
That's the claiming game. If we can give more money away and build that claiming game back up, that's so good for our sport. Yep. So good for the breeders. Okay.
I like what other circuits have done with portions of the claiming prices going to aftercare, but rigorous, vet screenings they will void out a claim, if your horse is unsound. I mean, what, 90% of horse races are claiming? Like,
right.
I don't want to see 5 race cards every single day, because what else are you going to run?
Yeah. And we're finally getting to the point where people can drop their horses aggressively and not be so worried about losing their horse because they can pick up the purse. That's good for the claiming game.
Right.
I don't ruin that. You're going to destroy the claiming game. You're going to destroy the backbone of the sport. And then that's going to crush the breeding game.
And if you want to talk about a barrier to entry for people to get into horse racing, even like to buy a horse, how do most people get started? They get started with a $5,000 claimer, more than likely.
And let me tell you, I've been in the claiming game. I've been an owner. I've done well, and I love it. I think it's great. It's so fun. So I'm glad to see big purses in claiming, and I hope they don't stop it. Now, back to this race. These are basically very early dream horses. Okay, these are horses they would love to see make the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, very unlikely that we're going to watch one today and make the Kentucky Derby, but you never know. And this is one of those races where you see a lot of pretty nice pedigrees. So we'll see what happens, but it's a pretty fun race. All right, we're on to race 8 now, which is the stake race. And I'm going to tell you right now, the 1 and the 6 are scratched.
1 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm leaning on this horse sitting on top. I like these top 2 horses, the 2 and the 10. But the 2, Kavad, first of all, this is a good betting race. 4. This score goes from 0 to 5, okay? And this is a good betting race. Horse is 6 to 1, gets the S, a little S. I think this might be the only one today. That means it qualifies as a spot play, okay? This unique set of variables that is very profitable. Gets the B+ grade on top of my sheet, $18 of value, gets ranked first in PFDS odds. I love everything about this horse. So I'm liking Kavad. Kavad is also Lasix on today.
Yep.
And then the other horse I like is the 10 Higher Standard, which is obviously a logical horse. Gets the blinkers on for Graham. Did win his last race in the mud. I'm always a little skeptical of horses that break their maiden in the mud. But, that horse figures. I'm not in love with Karama. This is an Asmussen horse with Santana up. Obviously thought enough of that horse to run him in the Nashua.
Yep.
But, I'm not in love with that horse at all. But what are your thoughts?
So you actually, one of your horses that you hit on is this is my highest confidence play in the back half of the card, and it is Tom Amos's horse, Higher Standard,
okay.
with flow up. I like that. Once again, we're going 6 furlongs. It's it's chopped down a little bit, but it's still a 9-horse field, which means I'm still going to be looking towards the outside posts. That's a monster effort that the horse put up in its maiden race. Then again, it was also on a muddy sealed track, so it could have been just whoever broke first got it. But it definitely showed that it has a little bit of tactical speed, because it was able to sit just off at the first call and then just explode through. And sat stalking off of a 21 4/5 opening quarter. Adds the Lasix today. I feel like it's going to be sitting in a good spot where it's out wide for the old swoop. There it is, slingshot move. And I'm going to take this one. I'm going to single it, and this is another one that I'm going to key also, and it's going to be keyed over the 2, 6, and 9.
Okay, so you like the 2 a little bit, but you like them underneath,
right?
Yeah, I mean the 2, 8 starts, 2 wins. Interesting that Chris Hartman claimed this horse for $50,000 his last race, and immediately, boom, right back in the stakes. And whoever owned this horse previously ran this horse in the Champagne, the Futurity. I mean, those are tough races. The horse didn't do anything, but
a whole lot of graded races for a 2-year-old.
Yeah, whole lot.
Yeah.
So that's why this horse is sitting up so high on my sheet. And then they dropped him to 50. I guess they said we're done with him. And Hartman said, "Okay, I'll take him. I'll run him in, a nice little stakes race over there in Oaklawn. Nothing special. $150,000 listed stakes."
I forgot to plug in my laptop. I'm going to disappear for a second, but I'm still listening.
Okay. Anyway, 2 and 10 are the horses we're looking at right now. At least none of us like the 9 for now.
It was another underneath play. I figured you had to use it, but I especially early in the meet, Asmussen always seems to start a little bit slow at Oaklawn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's an inside tip for you. I hate playing chalk underneath. So, I mean, if I like chalk underneath, I just play a win bet. I mean, I don't see any value in using him underneath in an exacta or trifecta. I mean,
I love the chalk keyed in second, the chalk sandwich trifecta where I key him in second place, and then
you better have a good price in third then.
Yeah, or in first. Yeah, it's it can pay off. It can also fail miserably, but I love my chalk sandwiches.
But if you got a 10-1 shot, why do you want to mess it up with a exacta or?
Oh, I mean, I will absolutely still win bet. I mean, you definitely can never forget to play the pick 1. It's the most overlooked bet in racing.
Exactly. And I like my Kavad as a pick 1. I think your Higher Standard is the deserving, probably ends up favored. 9 or 10 are going to be close. Very deserving. And I think that horse is legitimate, can win the race. All right, good. All right, we're on to the final race of the day, the 9th. And I'll turn this one over back to you. See who you like.
Sure. So once again, we're going 6 furlongs. So you got an idea of kind of where I narrowed my focus down to. And it's going to be Flash Magic. The guy who I just said starts slow with the jockey that he might hate for all for all we know as of late. I like this horse to kind of sit that stalking trip, to be able to make the move up the middle of the track. My buddy Sweet Sassy John Massey calls it the tractor trail, the closing up the tractor trail move that just seems to do really well, and gets a little bit of a class drop here. Was on a muddy track last time. Might think that it really wasn't a surface that it liked. It was initially in the Bob Baffert barn running out in California. They pick it up from Bob Baffert. It breaks its maiden next out, which I love seeing because I hate horses first out of the Baffert barn because they usually just lay a big old turd and just never have a good effort. But the horse has been bet well. It's run well. It hasn't gotten back to the winner's circle, so you're still able to get kind of these non-winners of conditions with it. And I'm excited to see this one on a fast track again.
Okay, man, that horse ranks fairly high on my sheet. I'll show you my sheet here. Well, no, not really. And he's behind Codename Kate, who he lost to. If you see the past performance, he lost to Codeman Kate recently. I really don't like that 11. There's maybe one horse I don't agree with your selection, but I'm going to let you go with it. I am really liking Ms. Blue. And to me, I mean, there is some other pace in the race. In fact, the second horse I like is also a speed horse. This Ms. Blue, Scott Becker, man, that Scott Becker is a good trainer, knows what he's doing, and he's still got the horse has won 8 races out of 14 lifetime, and still has his non-winners one other than condition for $100,000.
So hard to ignore that many ones, right?
I mean, 8 wins. So I like that horse a lot. Now, the problem with that horse is there's a lot of pace in the race. And the other horse I like a lot is the 10. That's a Ginin. Same kind of thing, going to go to the lead. I think the 5's faster early and will put away the 10. By the way, that's Scott Becker's horse also. I just noticed that. So both the early speed horses are Scott Becker's.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So they're not going to kill each other. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So I think one of them wins the race, and I think the 5 is the horse I would play. But interesting, the better jockey gets on the 10, Arietta.
Right.
Arietta's been on this horse before, though. Has Arietta ever ridden Ms. Blue? No. So he had to get a new jockey for Ms. Blue. But those 2 horses to me make complete sense. And then if the race does fall apart, Palm Cottage, the 8, certainly gets blinkers on today. Giroux, Cox. Here's the problem I have with this horse, Palm Cottage. American Pharaoh, $100,000 sire, bought for $575, and now is in here. Okay, they tried to stretch him out twice, failed miserably both times. Now it's throwing the blinkers on. Giroux stays on board. To me, this horse just has a lot of red flags, but certainly a contender. I mean, you can't deny that. All righty.
It's why won't they just try that horse on turf? Palm Cottage. American Pharaoh is such a good turf sire. Yeah. I feel like this is maybe just someone with OXO being a little bit stubborn and maybe wanted a Derby horse or something.
Yes.
It's I definitely used that horse though. If I were gonna do A and B tickets, I went 3 A's and 1 B, and my 3 A's were the 11, the 8, and the 9. If a few of the horses that you mentioned, and then the other Becker horse with Jets of Gin, and the 10 was my single B. Normally I would only probably go 2 deep in this kind of race, but with some of the picks that I have further upstream, I would hate to be alive to only 2 horses, so I kind of stretched it out. And if I get half mine right and you get half yours right, Francisco Arrieta is going to have a legendary day today.
Absolutely. So bet Arrieta today. This was a great video. Chase, I really appreciate it. We'll do it again. I mean, we'll keep hammering these Oaklawn videos together because your tips are phenomenal. And I have a feeling we're going to do quite well today.
Yeah,
I hope people enjoyed the video, and we will sign off. And
can I get
the best of luck?
One plug in for real quick?
Sure. Yes, go ahead, please.
I got to say, I love this man's product. I love his charts. I love his spreadsheets. What's great about it, like if you're a new horse player, even if you're a more seasoned one, if you're just having trouble just kind of like figuring out what's going on, there it is. And just plain quantifiable, numbers for you as of, okay, this is your pace. This is how the trainer stacks up. If you've got a trainer coming in from nowhere, it's a great product. Check it out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That. What I like to tell people is that I'm running the same math on every race, exactly the same. Okay. So it's not perfect because, my brain's not perfect, but it has been programmed in, and it is going to look at every single factor that I tell it to look at. And it's going to give you the numbers the exact same way every race. And you can look at a race. You can look at a race and say, you know what, this is a good race to bet on. And you can look at a race and say, this is not a good race to bet on.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Look for strong opinions. My sheet is up on the Oaklawn on my free. There's a tab for free charts. It's free today. So enjoy it.
Free 99, right?
Yeah, it's free. And then Remington Park is always free. So Remington Park tonight is also free. That's always the free check I run right now. I'm probably going to, after Remington's over, I'm going to switch over to Tampa. Tampa's a track I just crush Tampa. And then last night, I want to tell people about this. Go look at, I have a page on my website. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see, how do I do this? Share. Okay, never mind. There's a page on my website, ChartingHorseValue.com, called Past Sheets. Okay, and you can look at yesterday's sheets and take a look at the late pick 4 yesterday at Turfway. There's no way you play my sheets and don't hit that pick 4. And I think it paid $600 or something like that for 50 cents. Guarantee you would hit Turfway pick 4 if you were playing my sheets yesterday. Guarantee. I had that big winner in there.
I really wish I would have paid attention to that. I was live for a good couple $100 to about 6 different horses, and a pick 3 that ended in the last race. And then that 3 ran a hole in the wind, I think is the best way that I can put it. And then it busted me up because I didn't use the chalk. I would have known had I used Jeff's chart.
Let me just see here for a second. Let's see if I can figure this thing out. Hold on. Share. Stop the screen. Okay. Share screen. Let me just share the screen. Okay. So I'm going to go. I should be showing. You see the PPs here?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go to my website, and this is the login, and you go to past charts, and you scroll down to yesterday's 12-2, and then this has got all the tracks in it. All right, so this is it here, right? Yeah. All right, so the pick 4 was races 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so 5 deck of cards won. Okay. Got the PFTS number 1. There's no way you can play my sheet and not use deck of cards. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Race 6, Granite Candy wins with the B+, and that was a price.
9-1.
Yeah, that was the price. That was a tough race. I probably would have been about 5 deep, but no doubt I'm using Granite Candy. Race 7, Freedom Bound wins. No, Muse won. Muse won. Muse won the 8. Again, got the A grade, PFTS rank number 1. Totally logical. Race 9, Trickazar, the 3 wins. PFDS rank 1, A+ grade. No way you can miss that. Literally, you cannot miss this pick 4 if you used. And a lot of people don't like synthetic. And I actually am fine on synthetic. My stuff works on synthetic. I know it works here. It works at Golden Gate. It never does well, or not. Well, yesterday it did well, Woodbine. So, but I'm a little worried about Woodbine. But overall, I got no problem with synthetic. And, I had that pick 4. So anyway, I do appreciate the plug. You reminded me to mention that. All right. I am going to sign us off here. Again, appreciate you coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
We will see you again soon, Chase.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.